When I was getting into music production, the dark ages when I knew FL was Fruity Loops Studio, I'd have a reference track and I'd use all8.com's tools to tap the BPM into the site, listen into that reference, and hope that it returned an accurate tempo marking. I would then head back to my DAW with that reference track and slowly play each note of my keyboard whilst that song played on loop to see if I could find any notes that fit. And then I would write those notes into Google to see if I could find the key. Thank God technology has come a long way. I think my final point of this video you're really gonna dig, so let's dive into it. Mixed in Key does one thing really well, and over the past week, I've found a way to use it in my templates and daily life that really speeds up my work. In short, it analyzes your track and sorts it into groups by key and tempo, but it will also add tags for energy levels, which we'll soon come back to, and cue points, which is where I think we should start. But don't go anywhere, because at the end of this video, I'm going to show you a tool that I've added to my daily templates that I think you're really going to love. So with cue points, the thing I love is how they help me refine ideas, whether I'm working on a track for a client, creating something for YouTube, or just making music for myself. Inspiration is key. That's why I called the channel Inspired By. So I'll drop a bunch of tracks into Mixed in Key, analyze their cue points, and figure out what they have in common. This helps me pinpoint what my song might be missing: a bigger drop, a longer build, or a key change. It's like having a roadmap to guide the creative process, and it's super handy to jump straight to examples when I need that inspiration. Energy level is another small point, but an awesome feature. Not all samples come with key information, so I like to drop my sample library, or at least the samples that I'm using for that session, into Mixed in Key. From there I can sort by energy level, which is perfect for finding something softer like chill hop tracks, or something punchier when I need that explosive energy. It makes for finding the right vibe just so much easier. Finally, in Mixed in Key, let's talk about the Camelot wheel. I first came across this when I was DJing, but it becomes just as useful for production. It's a visual system that shows which keys work well together using a kind of clock face layout. I've set mine to show major and minor keys now, but by default, it uses the standard Camelot notation, which you can switch back to in preferences. The cool part is, if I'm DJing and mixing out of a song in D minor, I can stay there in D minor or move one step forward or one step back for harmonic mixing. I can also jump to the outer ring for the relative major key. For producers, this is the game changer. If your music theory is a little bit rusty, you might think that you're out of options after going through 100 samples on your sample site. But with the Camelot wheel, you can easily find the relative minor or major of that sample, depending on what you're using, and pair new samples with that. Let me give you an example. At the bottom here, we have Stroll to Chill To. It's a chord progression in D minor. That's the inner circle of the Camelot wheel. Adjacent to D minor is the F major. That's the relative major of D minor. So that means we should be able to pair this melodic sample with this melodic sample. They should work well together. Let's drag them into Ableton to see how they work. Okay, so I promised that there was a new tool that earned a permanent spot in my workflow, and that's Mixed in Key Live. I keep it open on my desktop and it's always listening. If I hear something on Spotify, I can hit listen and it will instantly analyze the key and the tempo. The same goes for when I'm in Ableton. If I start a chord progression and I'm unsure of the key, Mixed in Key Live has me covered. It's perfect for those spontaneous moments of inspiration. Let me know in the comments if you've used Mixed in Key or if you have other quality of life tools that I should check out. Thanks as always for hanging out, and I'll see you guys next time.